but Mitsuki's voice was coming from even further down. I'd have to keep going to the first floor ahead of the others. Is this it? That's what the others are doing their best to get Katayama off the ground so we can get out of here with them. I need to find Mitsuki and lead her back to them before it's too late. Okay, I thought that... I'm not seeing any... There's a large hole in the floor here, much too big to jump over. Okay, so I can't proceed this way. I'm not seeing any... Locked. A newly deceased corpse. Student ID name tag graffiti. Karasuyama High School, Megumi Onna. how it feels to be. The writing is partially erased, making it hard to interpret what it might have said. Adorable enough to kill you? What in the world could that be about? There's no scenery outside the window, just pitch blackness. The window itself isn't budging at all. It says hallway northwest of the exit. Here we go. Oh, really? Okay. If I kept running in circles like this, I'd never find her. I was in a state of panic, and I was allowing it to steer my path. Frustrated with the situation, and with myself for choosing to give up and head back empty-handed, I forced myself to stop and turn. I was going to do what I should have done in the first place. Call out Mitsuki's name with everything I had in me, and hope she responded.
Mitsuki! Mitsuki! どこ? みんないるよ!
No answer. Just the cold, lonely sounds of rain and wind bearing down on this old, dilapidated building. This may have been a fairly large school, but sound traveled well in here. If she were anywhere in this hallway, I'm sure she would have heard me. And if she were just here only minutes ago, she definitely would have been around now. Could something have happened to her?
Mitsuki!
It does feel like we're just running back and forth here, trying to find her. Oh. Oh, there's one of the ghost kids. Oh, crap. appears to be the ghost of a young boy. Got you. Oh, oh, this is gonna be a bad ending, isn't it? What? Really? That's it? Wow, that was some weak sauce. And was that even... What the hell was that? What just appeared in front of me? From the looks of it, you're another victim dragged here against your will, no? Well, I'll tell you now, there's no escape from this school. There's nothing to be gained here but despair. Though, if you've got an iron will, you might be able to survive for a little while at least. Here, you should have this. It'll help keep the wandering spirits at bay, though it only works once. So take it, get out of here and fight like hell. Stay alive as long as you possibly can. The spirit vanished, but lying on the floor below where it had been was a gemstone. Specifically a violet-colored gemstone, probably an amethyst. So I can use that to keep the wandering spirits at bay at one time, huh? I guess he meant the full-body ones, or it would have kept him at bay too. Either way, with this gem, I felt like I could actually get back to my friends safely. I was as hopeful as one could expect, all things considered. Just looking at the notes. Of course, he also said there was no escape from here, but it was my prerogative to believe what I wanted to believe and ignore what I wanted to ignore. Ooh, okay. Now I think that... Is that really the only wrong? Okay, wrong end one. Okay, so that was what I was supposed to do. Okay, I think maybe that... Okay, I think that is my only option. Not as, I don't know, game. I feel like you're kind of losing your touch. After what I've seen some of the previous endings for this. Okay. Ghost of a young boy. Use the amethyst. I held the amethyst in front of me and approached the spirit. And incredibly, it actually worked. Both the ghost and the gem faded and disappeared. The stairwell was now free to be traversed. Okay.
エミ、大丈夫。さっきまでそこに幽霊みたいなのがいてさ。
Yeah, we saw it.
みんなは早く片山連れて出よう。
Oh. I think I know. I had a really bad feeling about this. I ran past her to the bathrooms, to where Katayama was being lifted onto Yui's shoulders my left. Why? Katayama was back on the floor, right where we'd set him down when this whole ordeal began. Why wasn't he on Yu's shoulders? What was going on? I had an inkling, but I didn't want to believe it, so I pushed it out of my mind. What are you still doing here?
早く片山連れてかなきゃ。何、会わなかったよ。
What?
瞳子が降りた後すごい声を上げてそのまま。
I didn't know what else to say. A person had just died. And not some stranger, but a person I knew. A friend. It was the strangest feeling. I kept looking at him and thinking, is he really dead? Is this really what a person looks like when he dies? Seeing him like that drained every last bit of energy I had in me. I fell to my knees, thoroughly defeated. Oh. Is there still more to...
大川君、片山君から離れないって。
Well...
どうすればいいの？
I don't know. Again, it's like... These are just a bunch of damned souls in this place. Emmy and I couldn't stay near the body. We'd gone down to the second floor. We picked a corner and just stood there trying to recompose ourselves. Yuya elected to stay with Okawa from the third floor. I guess I tried to break him from his shock and help put some distance between him and Katayama. None of this felt real. Or maybe I just didn't want it to be real. It was a nightmare. It had to be. I'd just sit up in my bed and it would all be over.
どうしてこんなことになっちゃったんだろう。冷めないね。おかしいな。冷めないの。さっきから夢だと思うとしてるんだけど。瞳子。
My energy was waning again. I sank to the ground, laying on my knees. Emmy followed my lead and put an arm around me for comfort. A friend had just died. He just died. God, why? Huh? Emmy and I looked at each other. We both heard them. Footsteps coming down the hall. It was too dark to make out who it was, but the gate was decidedly male. The two of us slowly and quietly rose to our feet, hid around the corner, and peeked out, both terrified and curious as to whom or what we might see. There, at the end of the hall, the figure finally came into view. It was a tallish man, unsteadily teetering as he slowly strode toward us. It was Shimada, drenched head to toe.
島田君。
Emmy shot forward, intending to run toward him, but I grabbed her arm and held her back, without even thinking about it. She turned around and looked at me with a puzzled expression.
あいつ、私無理。
I can't handle him.
まさか、なんかされたの？よかった。こんな時だし、起こったことだけでも伝えておかないと。
She looked back at me again as she said this, staring right into my eyes in an almost disciplinary manner. It was the perfect guilt stare. I couldn't help but succumb to it, feeling bad for not having filled her in about the Shimada incident. Shimada continued a slow, wet walk down the hall. Then all of a sudden, for no discernible reason, he simply fell forward, landing hard on his knees. Something was wrong with him, and while I loathed the man, I didn't want to see him suffer. Emmy and I were both poised to rush to his aid, when other figures randomly began appearing all around him. Figures of children, blue and ethereal, shimmering with their own light. We could barely even see Shimada from our vantage point anymore, as his body was obscured almost completely by the backs of these ghost children. He wasn't moving, though, so it didn't seem like they were doing anything to him. But then, he wasn't moving at all, which seemed highly suspicious. It occurred to me that maybe we should try to save him. I inched forward. He was still in exactly the same position he had been when he fell to his knees. He literally hadn't moved at all. Was he unconscious? Emmy and I looked at one another and nodded. It was a silent signal to move forward and do whatever we could to help. What? The children vanished as we approached, revealing a horrific sight. Shimada's stomach had been flayed wide open. He was dead. The knife he'd flaunted earlier was jutting from the wound. It was an almost ceremonial death, like that of a samurai who'd thrown himself on his sword. What indeed?
知らないよ。まだ近くにいるんじゃないの？キザミ君、大変なの。島田君が。
Yuya, who presumably rushed down to see what was wrong, calmly walked over to Shimada's body. He was checking for signs of respiration or pulse. He turned back to face us again a moment later, and his facial expression said it all. Shimada really was dead. I was beginning to lose it. I just couldn't take any more of this. My friends and acquaintances were dying one by one. I guess I should say had died, but it didn't seem like it was over. Not by a long shot. Yeah. There's something in here with us. Something trying to kill us. Hell, it was doing more than trying. It had already succeeded twice over. I was scared. I was paranoid. I was shaking, crying, and screaming inside. I was deathly afraid that something else would show up. And then it did. And there's Sachi. It was a little girl in a red dress, standing between us and the third floor staircase. I couldn't make out the expression on her face through her bangs, but I could literally feel the hatred in her eyes as she stared into our souls. Then she turned around and slid up the staircase into the 3rd floor. Emmy was turned the other way, so she hadn't seen the girl at all. She eventually followed our gazes, but at the time, the girl was gone. She looked confused. That particular apparition looked a lot different from the other ghosts I'd seen, but there was still no doubt in my mind she was definitely a ghost.
大川君は連れてこようよ。とにかく出なきゃ、この学校から。私呼んでくる。
待て。
ゆうや、私も。
危険だ。ここで待っていろ。
Back receding into the darkness, it closed after him, Emmy.
Ochitsuke, Toko. 冷静な心にかなう武器はない。今一番大事なことは何
？Oh, shit. What's going on? Why was Emmy screaming? I could hear voices now. Emmy and Okawa were having a heated argument.
無理よ。置いて逃げなきゃ捕まるわ。
こいつを置いていけないだろう。早く病院へ連れて行かなきゃ。も
う
死んでる。死んでない。死んでる。死んでない。死んでないんだ。
Leave them and run? We'll get caught? That ghost girl must have been pursuing them.
大変だ。
This is
行かなきゃ。
bad.
何？
人殺し！
Oh. Katayama's body was sprawled unceremoniously on the landing, halfway up to the 3rd floor, along with Okawa. At the top of the stairs stood Emmy, and in front of her Yuya, with an imposing scowl on his face. I didn't understand any of this. What just happened? Emmy let out another scream and came running toward me down the stairs. Okawa then seemed as if he'd fallen and broken his arm. He was lopsidedly crawling toward me. It was almost as if he were trying to distance himself from Yuya. I ran to the base of the stairs to meet up with Emmy. I needed some sort of context here.
Emmy, 何？どうしたの？
逃げろ！逃げろ！殺されるぞ！
キサミ君が蹴り落としたの。急に。
Kicked him down the stairs out of the blue. What? I glanced up at Yuya, but his face was shrouded in darkness. I couldn't make out any expression at all. Okawa seemed to have rushed his breaking point. He shot to his feet and took off behind me toward the second floor, as fast as he could. Yuya kicked Okawa down the stairs? Why?
嘘でしょ
Oh, I know it is. This guy is... I think we all know at this point what an evil bastard he is. He suddenly walked down to the landing. He was neither concerned nor scornful. His face was a blank state. As soon as he reached my level, he bent down and began fiddling with Katayama's body, raising the arms, then letting them drop, wiping blood from the ears and the nose, then looking at it as if studying a specimen under a microscope. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this bitch... What the hell? He was enjoying this! I finally got to see an emotion written clearly on his face. And was it elation? How is this not some crazy dream? Oh yeah, this guy is a crazy ass bitch. Tears began spilling from my eyes like water. I was shocked, confused, and I don't even know what else. Oh jeez, now what? Emmy and I found ourselves standing in front of the door of the school infirmary. Shimada took the key and lost it.
こんなとこ逃げ込んでもし見つかったら終わりだよ下に逃げよう
The poor girl was frantic. I couldn't say I blamed her, but well, something about this whole situation just didn't feel right to me. Emmy, I'm still not sure we need to run. I just don't believe Yuya. Kind, sweet Yuya would be capable of something like that. Oh, I do! But he really did kick him down the stairs! It happened! Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Oh, man. Emmy? Oh, no. And off she went. I was now separated from every one of my friends. But was I really in danger? I mean, I was, but from Yuya? That just didn't seem right. Or more likely, I didn't want it to be. Yeah. I wanted us all to believe this was a misunderstanding. My legs were shaky and my head was swimming. I just stood there unsure of what I should do or where I should go. Oh, and there he was. Right behind me. Fuck. In his hands was Shimada's huge knife. The one that was last seen jutting from Shimada's stomach. It was still dripping with blood. This definitely made matters more complicated. How could I doubt Yuya's guilt when he was holding something like that? Why did he even have it? How could he possibly bring himself to pull a knife from his friend's lifeless corpse? But I wasn't gonna run. I turned around and I braced myself. I opened my mouth, intent on discussing this rationality. If I ran away now, I felt like it would all be over. There'd be nothing left to save. No one left to trust. But what could I possibly say to him? Oh, jeez. Either of... oh, God. He is definitely not alright. But... So I think that answer is self-explanatory.
ゆうや信じられないよ。どうして。
My body was still visibly shuddering and my voice was breaking. I'd unconsciously taken an accusatory tone with him, which was not at all what I wanted, but it was too late to take it back now. I hoped he didn't notice, but he did. As soon as the word "why" slipped from my lips, his eyes glazed over. It was as if all the warmth and compassion I'd seen there before was tapped and drained, leaving behind nothing more than an empty container.
お前もか。同じだな。
Then he just started muttering to himself and slowly walked right past me, as if I weren't even there.
ゆうや待ってよ。何持ってるのそれ。
使えそうだ。いろいろ。
やめて捨ててよ。
He was at a crossroads, about to walk down a path of no return, and I wasn't going to lose the kind, considerate Yuya I'd fallen for. Unfortunately, the only tools I had at my disposal for stopping him were my feelings, and those just weren't going to be enough. Oh, fuck. I was so startled it took me a moment before I'd even figured out what had happened.
同じだ。ここでは。
That was the first time in my entire life I'd ever been punched in the head, and he put everything he had into it.
この学校に殺されるのも。
I couldn't focus. My brain was still rattling inside my skull from the impact.
俺に殺されるのも。
The world was spinning. I looked up at him with spasmodic, twitchy, tear-filled eyes. There was no sign of remorse or compassion whatsoever. He looked like a feudal warrior, clutching his sword and staring down at his enemy. The area all around my eye was throbbing. It hurt so badly, and felt so swollen and sore. I couldn't have even imagined what it must have looked like. And he wasn't done with me. He got in closer and closer, grinning unnaturally as he raised his fist for a second strike.
お前が試すか。最初。
「 I was running on pure instinct and adrenaline at this point. I shot to my feet and just forced him to carry me to safety. Somewhere, anywhere. He was gonna kill me. He really was gonna kill me. God! I felt something rattling around uncomfortably inside of my mouth, so I spit it out in my hand. It was white. A single white tooth with blood red highlights as written. That maniac actually knocked out one of my teeth. He was there, just behind me. I panicked, tripping over my own feet and stumbling to the ground on the landing between the first and second floor. I fell on my backside, dropping my tooth on the ground next to me. I began slinking away from the encroaching figure of Yuya Kazami. Save me! Somebody! Anybody! God, please! I was scooting backwards across the floor too, stiff, sore, and scared to stand, but then my hand brushed across something small and metallic. A key. The infirmary key that Shimada lost. Huh? Is this a hope spot? Even my hand over it, I was shaking so badly, I could barely work my fingers to get a grip. It was the most frustrating feeling in the world, and for a few seconds, that felt more like hours, I just kept trying in vain to pick up that damn key. Finally, I slipped my finger through the ring. I had it. This was my one only chance. Scrambling to my feet, I somehow slipped past Yuya and ran back up to the second floor as fast as I could force my shaky legs to carry me. I had the key. I could lock myself in. I could hide in the infirmary. Kazami didn't pursue. Not right away. He just stood there, staring. Staring at the tooth that I dropped on the ground. Staring intently as if trying to make out what he was seeing. Yeah, I remember again from the previous game. What are you? Is he gonna eat it? Wow. There didn't seem to be any way to lock the door from the inside. I needed to find a hiding place before Yuya showed up. The corner of the room? Under the bed, maybe? I was scanning every inch of the room as quickly as possible, sizing up my surroundings. My eyes stopped on one of the medicine shelves. It felt like such a revelation, like the answer I was looking for. But what was I gonna do with scissors? Well, I mean, they'd probably make for a weapon at least. Was I gonna fight? Fight who? Yuya? I wouldn't stand a chance. Genocide Jack 2.0? I decided to leave him there. I stepped back and crouched behind the partitioning screen that was set up in the middle of the room. Urabe had run back to the bathrooms on the third floor to warn Okawa about the imminent threat that was approaching. Unsurprisingly, he was still crouched on the ground, cradling Katayama's lifeless head in his arms. And he was still stubbornly insistent that if he were to leave that spot, he'd have to carry Katayama with him. Oh. Oh. Okawa. What a stubborn, foolish man. I'd had enough. I decided to rip Katayama's body from Okawa's arms and kick it down the stairs. Oh! It made one hell of a thud when it hit the landing, but he was already dead, so what did it matter? As long as it helped get Okawa moving, I didn't care. Is that what happened? Back there. See? Look, he's dead, so get your ass off that floor and run!
目を覚ませ。片山はもう死んでいる。早くここから逃げるんだ。
Katayama's dead. We have to get out of here now. Urabe was looking at me, then at Katayama's body, then back at me, as if she couldn't make up her mind which was more interesting. But why was she looking at me? Did I have something on my face? Okawa, on the other hand, was focused squarely on Katayama. He was trembling all over, but I thought he had finally understood. Yelled like a madman, ran down the stairs toward his friend's body. He wasn't exactly in his right mind, however, so those last few steps didn't quite go as planned. He tripped and fell quite hard next to Katayama. I was the one who killed Katayama.
そうか。ここでは学校に殺されるのも俺に殺されるのも同じってことか。どうせみんな死ぬのだからな。
Shit. So that was the ending of Chapter 7. And now it's giving us credits. Even though I don't know if anything was really resolved, nor was it really meant to. Again, given the ending of the first game, given the Groundhog Day loop everyone was forced into. But there is still one more chapter that it's offered us. Again, Blood Drive, and that is the, though it's also the title of the third game in the series, so I'll have to play that and then see, and then again, see the third game and how it plays into this, because there's just so much. There's so many unknowns yet. Chapter 7 clear. Okay, guys. That's Chapter 7 for you. Next time, then, we'll, I guess is going to be the finale of Book of Shadows as we do Chapter 8. I'll see you guys then.
I'm playing a game.